Long ago, the Bible says the world was filled with violence, corruption, and selfishness. People had turned away from what was right, and the earth had become a place of chaos. According to the Bible, God was deeply saddened by what humanity had become. But even in that dark time, one man stood out. His name was Noah. Noah wasn't perfect, but he was described as a righteous man who tried to live rightly and walk closely with God when almost no one else did. Because of this, God chose Noah for an important and overwhelming task. God told Noah that a great flood was coming, a flood that would cover the earth and wipe away the violence and corruption. But this message wasn't only about destruction. It was also about hope. God promised Noah that he and his family would be saved. Then God gave Noah very specific instructions. He told Noah to build an ark, a massive wooden ship unlike anything people had ever seen before. It wasn't meant to sail across oceans. It was meant to survive a disaster. Noah lived far from the sea, rain like this had never happened before, and yet God asked him to trust, obey, and begin building. So Noah did. Year after year, Noah and his family worked on the ark. People around them likely laughed, mocked, and questioned why anyone would build a giant boat on dry land. They probably asked where the flood was and why Noah believed something so unbelievable. But Noah kept going. He chose faith over approval, obedience over comfort, and trust over fear. When the ark was finally finished, God gave Noah another strange instruction. He told Noah to bring animals into the ark, 2 of every kind, male and female, and more of certain animals. Birds, livestock, and wild animals came to Noah just as God said they would. Along with the animals, Noah brought his wife, his 3 sons, and their wives. 8 people in total entered the ark. Then the door of the ark was shut. The Bible says God himself closed it. Soon after, rain began to fall. At first, it may have seemed normal, but it didn't stop. Rain fell for 40 days and 40 nights. Water poured from the sky, and water burst up from the ground. Rivers overflowed, and the land slowly disappeared beneath the floodwaters. Everything outside the ark was swept away. Inside the ark, the days were long and uncertain. The ark rocked as the waters rose higher and higher. Animals moved and called out, and the sound of rain never seemed to end. But through it all, the ark floated safely. Noah and his family were protected, not because they were stronger or smarter, but because they trusted and obeyed. Eventually, the rain stopped. The waters began to slowly recede. After many months, the ark came to rest on a mountain. Still, Noah waited. He sent out a raven, and later a dove, to see if the land had dried. The first time, the dove returned with nowhere to land. The second time, it came back carrying an olive leaf, a sign that life was returning. Finally, God told Noah it was time to leave the ark. When Noah stepped onto dry ground, the world was quiet, clean, and new. The first thing Noah did was give thanks. He built an altar and worshipped God, recognizing that survival was not luck, but grace. Then God made a promise, not just to Noah, but to all living creatures. God promised that never again would a flood destroy the entire earth. As a sign of that promise, God placed a rainbow in the sky. The rainbow became a symbol of hope, reminding the world that even after judgment, mercy remains, and that destruction is never God's final word. The story of Noah's Ark is more than a story about a flood and animals. It is a story about choosing faith when the world goes in the wrong direction, about trusting God when the future feels uncertain, and about new beginnings after great loss. Noah's life reminds us that faith is not just something we believe, but something we live, and that sometimes, one faithful person is enough to carry hope through the storm.